Hi everyone, today I'm going to be talking about makeup brushes and go through some of my favorites. These are just basically the essential brushes that I use. Obviously there's many other brands and many varieties out there. So, the other thing is to keep in mind, just because, on the handle of the brush it says it should be used for one thing, doesn't mean you only have to use it for that. If it works for you and it's easy, it makes it easier for you and it looks good, then keep using it. The brush that I use the most for my liquid foundation is my Sigmax Round Top Kabuki F82, and I can't remember any numbers ever, so I always have to read them. This is just, what it basically says. It's a round top kabuki. So this is really nice. Any of these Sigmax brushes I'm going to be showing you can be used with cream or powder. And in the rest of the Sigmax brush line, or the rest of them that I have anyway, this is the angle top kabuki F84 and the flat top synthetic kabuki F80. So these are all really great for liquid foundation or powder foundation. And the thing that I like about them, usually I can't really say that a brush makes all that much of a difference when it comes to the appearance of your makeup. I really feel like these do improve the appearance of your liquid foundation, your blush color, whatever you're going to use them for. I'm going to give you some more uses in a minute. It just looks very, very smooth, flawless. Very airbrushed looking is how I would describe it. And then for my concealer, I love my F70 brush from Sigma as well. I guess I can stop saying that because it's kind of a given. Just looks like this. And this is really nice for applying cream products to the eye as well, which I'll talk about in a second. But this is my go-to concealer brush. Then to set my liquid foundation, I'll use my large powder F30. So this is really great to set your foundation. Also, I use this to apply my mineralized skin finish natural, kind of as a sort of like foundation. I liked using a kabuki brush, and then I tried using this and I found that it just gave you a really, really smooth, it's not as dense as a kabuki, so it's very fluffy. Normally wouldn't give you much coverage, but I find that it gives really great coverage, and it actually just looks very blended and natural. It just applies a light veil of the product and you can build up from there if you need to, which I usually do. And also blending out your blush color, that kind of a thing. It's great for that. As far as setting my under eye concealer with my powder flash, I'll use this large sable blending brush from Coastal Scents. I love this brush. I've used the heck out of this thing. I've been using this forever. I'm probably going to switch to a regular old E40 for this purpose from now on, because I don't think that you can get, I don't know if you can get this one anymore, and I'd rather use something that my viewers can get their hands on. Does the same job, just something really nice and light and fluffy to set your under eye area. So I was going to show you my eyeshadow brushes next, but I think it makes more sense just to kind of show you my blush brushes. And again, any of these can be used for blush color. And they can also be used for a cream blush or any kind of cream product you want to layer underneath your powder blush to make it last longer. These are great for cream products. I absolutely adore them. Obviously this one is a little bit more tailored for a cheek color because it is contoured. It's angled. This one I use for my bronzer. This is a Duo Fiber F50, and basically a Duo Fiber brush is just any brush that has these synthetic bristles at the top and then natural bristles at the bottom, so you can really use them for a variety of different things. Like I said, I really like this one for my bronzer. A good rule of thumb when you're going through and trying to decide which brush to use, a larger, fluffier brush is going to give you a more sheer, kind of a lighter application, and a smaller, denser brush will give you a more pigmented, kind of like a darker result. So that's just something to keep in mind. It definitely, I think, holds true when it comes to eyeshadow brushes, face brushes, pretty much anything. Yeah, this one I use for bronzer. If I want a nice sheer wash of blush, I want it to look super, super natural and like really blended, I'll use this one for my blush as well. It just kind of covers a larger area on your cheek, so you have to be a little bit more careful. I even have like a big, like, I don't know, big cheeks. And this one can be a little big for applying like a really pigmented blush sometimes, but I still really like it a lot. Yeah, like I said, this one is a Duo Fiber F50, and this is a large angled contour F40. So this is really great for just concentrating that blush color right on your apples. And like I said, usually I'll go back and blend it out with a large powder brush, or a clean Duo Fiber brush would even work really well for blending your blush. I have one from MAC. It's a tiny version of this one. I think it's the 188. I really like to use that for highlighting the top of my cheekbones. I can't find it right now though. That's a sad story. Basically, just picture a skinnier version of this, and you have the MAC 188. It's just a little tinier, and it's nice for like applying color to the top of your cheekbone. So moving on to my eye brushes, and I think I'm going to start, actually I'm going to go back to that concealer brush I just showed you a few minutes ago. When it comes to applying a cream base to your eyes, basically like a paint pot, something like that, you can use your finger. I really like to use a synthetic brush, and I really like to use my concealer brush, so it just goes to show this is one of those multitasking brushes. I mean, you can't do too many things with this, but when it comes to like applying a paint pot or something like that, which is like a groundwork for an eye look, you know, any kind of base, cream base, I really like to use my F70 or just my finger to blend it out. And then the next step when you're applying makeup would be to reach for a shader brush to apply kind of a large area of color to your lid. And shader brushes usually, I mean, they kind of come in many different shapes and sizes, but the two that I use the most, this one is a large shader E60, and you can see it's this one is sometimes even too big for, I don't know, like that inner corner sometimes, but if you're just trying to be really quick and just get your makeup done, it's really nice to like pat color all over your lid with this. And then with any shader brush, usually you can use the very end of the brush for the lower lash line. Otherwise, I'll use my E20 short shader. That's a really great one for lining your eye or for the lower lash line. And also I love my E55. You can see the difference is just slightly fluffier. It's a little shorter. So this one's a little fluffier, so you can't do much blending with this. This one you can kind of apply the color and blend a little bit as you go. You can even apply some colors into the crease with this one. So maybe, you know, if you're looking for, like I said, a multitasker, a brush that does multiple things, I would say this one. Definitely throw this in my makeup bag whenever I'm going anywhere. And let's see, we have shader brushes. Then I guess I'll move on to more like crease type brushes. Sigma calls this a blending brush, an E25, but mostly I use this for applying crease color, and it's really nice because it almost has like a wedge shape to it. It's kind of hard to tell. Mine is looking a little scraggly right now, but so you can really get that outer V motion going with this brush. This is a great go-to crease brush. And then this is another one. It's a little different. You can kind of see the difference. This is a tapered blending E35. I mean, these are kind of interchangeable, to be honest. I just feel like I get a lighter, more subtle, natural result with this brush, and this one is just a little bit, get more of a darker result. This is my medium angled shading E70 brush, and it has that nice angle to it, so it's really, really easy to create like a winged out shadow look. You just kind of place it down and sweep the brush in, and it gives you that shape right away. You don't have to create it on your own. It's really nice. And again, I use this one for highlighting. Some smaller brushes, again, keep in mind when you get into, you know, as the brush gets smaller and more dense, you're going to get a darker result. So it kind of makes sense that an eyeliner brush would be really tiny and have these like densely packed bristles. So the first one, this is my pencil E30 brush, and I love this one for really defining the outer V, kind of the lower crease area, just like the outer part of your lid. And I also line my lash line with this and apply color to my lower lash line with this as well. And if you have smaller eyes, this might actually be, you know, your go-to crease brush too. So it just depends. I mean, I use this one in my crease a lot as well, kind of like feather the color up to my crease using this brush, but I won't take it all the way in because then I would get more of like a stark line, which you could blend out, but it's just easier for me to do that way. So anyway, this is a really great brush for more precise details when it comes to your eye look. And these are basically my essential liner brushes. I also have one from Studio Gear that I really like because it's so tiny. See how much tinier it is than the Sigma one on the right? So I really like this one a lot. You can find this one at Ulta. It's a Studio Gear number 37. However, usually I'll just stick to one of these two brushes. And this one is an eyeliner brush. This is just a pointed eyeliner brush. You can actually see I have some concealer on there because sometimes it doubles for me as a concealer brush. So if I have a if my other concealer brush is dirty, this seems like it might be a little too big, I'll use this one, just an eyeliner brush. It works really well actually, and it's synthetic bristles, so it places the color on my skin really nicely. And yeah, so an eyeliner E5 brush. This one is going to be a huge multitasker. This is like, does so many different things when it comes to just lining the eyes. This is a small angle E65 brush. I'm going to try to remember everything that this does. Okay, so you can fill in your brows with this. You can line your lid. You can line your lash line or apply color to the waterline with this. And it basically works for any kind of formula. So cream, gel, pencil, you can kind of trace some of an eyeliner pencil onto the end of this brush and then apply it to your eye. See, cream, gel, powder, pencil. Yeah, so many different formulas, many different applications for this brush. So I would say this is a great essential brush to have. When it comes to blending, which is a very, very important step, this basically takes me to my, I think, ultimate multitasking brush. And you guys are going to be so sick of hearing that word by the end of this video. Okay, this is my tapered blending E40 brush from Sigma, which I mentioned for using, you can use this one to set your under eye concealer. Not only do I use this every day to blend out my lid color, that kind of a thing. I mean, you can apply color with this, you can highlight, you can get some subtle crease definition and use it to set your under eye concealer with an under eye setting powder. So this is a really great brush to have. I think this will really, I mean, this one really goes far for you. It does a lot of different things, and if you're going to invest money in your makeup collection and in your makeup brushes, you might as well, you know, I'm glad that I have this brush. I'm glad I invested in it because I use it all the time. This one goes the extra mile if you want to look for brushes that I think are really helpful day to day. This one I use every single day. It's kind of an overview of my go-to essential brushes. I really hope this was helpful. You know, I don't have every single brush. I don't know everything about brushes, but I know that I do get a lot of questions, and I wanted to kind of give you my insight on what brushes work really well for me, the ones that I use all the time. And I think these really are a nice like cross section of the brushes I use pretty much on a regular basis or daily. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until the next one, I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.